We welcome the Sydney-based group Boy and Bear back to the World Cafe as part of our Sense of Place Sydney. Singer-songwriter David Hosking originally formed the band as a solo project in 2009. That was the year they also won the Triple J Unearthed competition for new bands. Their latest album, their third, is called Limit of Love, and it was released in 2015. They've spent a lot of the time since then touring the U.S., and they join us today in our studio here. They begin with the song called Where'd You Go?
Hey boy, now what you making? Looking up as you go. Heard your voice just the other day on the radio. But like an ancient shrine that has swallowed your mind, well, you lost yourself with nothing to say. I'd not the heart to ask you to stay. So sweet times all made up in my mind. Where'd you go? Where'd you go? Where'd you go? Where'd you go? And all that wandering couldn't wake you from a slumber so slow. Hazy Jane, well, you've known my name for a while now. And all that wasted time following dotted lines is enough to send a man insane. I'd not the heart to ask you to stay. So sweet times all made up in my mind. Where'd you go? Where'd you go? Where'd you go? Where'd you go? Now I'm walking up the same mountain I climbed every day. Can almost hold it, but honey, I tried. Sweet times all made up in my mind. Where'd you go? Where'd you go? Where'd you go? Where'd you go? Where'd you go?
Where'd You Go from Boy and Bear. Really nice version of that one from Limit of Love, their latest album. And very happy to welcome them back as we want to quiz you guys about Sydney. Are you all from Sydney?
Yeah, we are.
Wow. When did you guys, I know, Dave, at one point, kind of Boy and Bear was kind of you. Mm-hmm. And how did it grow up? And what part did the Sydney music scene kind of play in that?
Well, I guess I met a few of the guys at university who were all playing in other projects, and we were supporting each other at shows. And then I did an EP a long time ago, and Killian came along and played guitar on it. I guess we started to get a little bit of momentum, and as we did that, it no longer felt like a solo project, so we changed it and did the band thing. I never felt like we had those kind of hard yards on the Sydney scene, as some bands do. You know, we got lucky in that we had a big radio station back home start playing some of our music. We've definitely kind of worked through the ranks in terms of the Sydney venues over the years, which I think is a vibrant live music culture for sure.
Is there anything that kind of is the personality of the Sydney audience I know that's a difficult question, but you guys play a lot of places around the world. Is there anything about Sydney's audience that is different?
I mean, the difference for us is, well, at least I personally find them, at least home gigs are always slightly scarier because there's family and friends, and you kind of can't pretend to be someone else on stage if you feel like it, because they know you back to front. But in terms of the actual Sydney audience, I don't know, I kind of feel like there's maybe like 4 or 5 different audience types globally. And sometimes Melbourne is different to Sydney, for example. Melbourne's much more, I figure Melbourne feel like sometimes they're the kind of tastemakers in Australia a little bit, and so you often get the kind of crossed arms. They won't throw everything at you in terms of enthusiasm, but with saying that, we always get great crowds in Melbourne and they're very respectful. But it's different to Sydney. Feels like more of a party vibe in Sydney. Yeah, and I feel like that pattern is often you play in different parts of the world and you're like, oh, this is kind of like more of a Melbourne crowd than a Sydney crowd.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about, the crossed arms, for sure. Well, why don't you do another one of these, and I want to find out more. I particularly want to talk about that radio station you're talking about. We'll talk about that in a bit.
Great.
Oh, darling, would you let me say why I think you're afraid, but I could be wrong. You're running, but you won't ignore why the feeling's the same, and now it's been so long. When you back down, when your back's against that wall, let your hair out now, and the body's moving, bring you around. If you're ever down, I'd be there just to bring you around. All I'm hearing are your words in water. You must be tired of the waves, but how it's been so long. I was trying just to hold you up now. I think it's a shame, but baby, it's just too strong. When you back down, when your back's against that wall, let your hair out now, and the body's moving, bring you around. Yeah. If you're ever down, I'd be there just to bring you around. 'Cause you're better off in a bed alone, in company of your own mind. Take a minute now just to settle down. I promise it'll be alright. 'Cause you're better off on your own tonight. When you back down, when your back's against that wall, let your hair out now, and the body's moving, bring you around. Yeah. If you're ever down, I'd be there just to bring you around.
Boy and Bear live in our studio as part of our Sense of Place visit to Sydney. Even though they're here, that is 1,000 faces. And you guys alluded to having success on a radio station in Australia. And that radio station it's kind of a national station, but it's out of Sydney. And we had a chance to go to said station, which is Triple J, while we were there. And they have it seems most bands across the country aspire to be part of the Unearthed competition and airing, where you upload your songs to Unearthed and people vote on them and stuff. You guys were part of that very early on. You won the competition in 2009. Was that was early on in your career?
That was very early on.
Was it before the first album, or was that?
Yeah, I think it was even before the first EP. Yeah, so we just had a handful of songs. and we got made Unearthed feature artists, and then we won a competition to play at a festival called
Home Bake.
Home Bake, yeah.
Tell me what it means. The Unearthed thing means to somebody's career.
Well, I guess for us, I feel like it's given us a career. I guess Triple J back home is generally a very reputable station. They've always got great artists playing. You know, having that Unearthed system obviously allows these unsigned artists and people recording in their bedrooms to kind of put music up. And I don't know, I feel we got lucky. You know, they warmed to something that we were doing. I guess it means you've then got people there listening to what you do next, you know. And obviously if what you do next isn't very good, they're not just going to play it. But just having that opportunity where people are going to listen to what you're doing and pay attention, that's so hard to get.
Had you been playing out a lot at that point?
No. And I think what was funny is, like, when we did have that song, as you say, sort of go unearthed, we ended up doing a show a couple of weeks after that, and I think we had 22 minutes of material for a headline show.
Yeah.
So people paid to come and see us in this tiny little venue, and we literally played 20 minutes and then apologized and walked off stage.
And came back and did it again.
Yeah.
Boy and Bear are our guests. They are from Sydney, and it's part of our Sense of Place Sydney, and we're hearing some music from Limited Love, the latest album. And Dave, what's next?
We're going to play my favorite track on the album called Just Dumb.
There's a night owl and it laughs at me. Says what you come in for is insane, but you can't possibly know me well. Yeah, I'm the people's panic today. Maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm just dumb. Maybe I'm right now, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm just on. I made a plan to get on living it. I took a chance to hold on tight to the fantasy I've given it. Guess I thought it'd be alright, 'cause there's a night owl and it laughs at me. Says what you come in for is insane, but you can't possibly know me well. I'm the people's panic today. Maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm just on. Maybe I'm right, but maybe I'm wrong, or maybe I'm just on. Maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong. done. Maybe I'm right now, but maybe I'm wrong.
That is Just Dumb, Not a Judgment. The name of the song from Boy and Bear, our guests here on the cafe. How important is it to you guys as a band to kind of break here in the U.S.?
That's a good question. I guess we're hungry to keep growing as a band, and we've spent, now I feel like maybe 5 years touring over here, and being out on the last record kind of cracked that radio play thing, and then following up this record to continue with the radio play, and it feels like we've come so far. It's a mighty big country, and it can take it out of you, when you're touring, but we sort of also, I think we enjoy the challenge, so I don't think we're going anywhere.
Are you working on a new album?
We're always working on a new album.
I'm sure you love that
emotionally. Yeah, we are. I mean, I think you get to this point, where you're at the back end of the touring cycle, and I can probably speak on behalf of most of the guys that we always start to get pretty hungry and excited at the next phase, which usually involves these sort of little trips away as a group of kind of riding and eating and drinking too much.
Boy and Bear, we look forward to a new album from them